Hello, welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog, everybody. It is Wednesday morning before 7 o'clock that I am recording this. And you know what? I like doing these videos where I'm not on camera because I just woke up and, for all those who make fun of my hair, if you could just see it now. Anyway, I want to go over all the data. You know, if you've been following the blog for the past couple of days, I've talked about the unreal forecasting headaches for Sunday. And the reason why I'm putting so much focus on Sunday is not only because of the forecast challenges, but the Little Rock Marathon and how there could be rapidly changing weather during the marathon. So this is a very high impact forecast for tens of thousands of people who are going to be outdoors, and that's just one of the reasons why I'm really paying attention to this. Now, you notice that I didn't pay much. I did last week, the forecast for today, or last night I should say, because I didn't think it was going to be much of anything, and it didn't. Friday is turning out to be a dud. And we had a little cold rain in the forecast, but that's a dud. It's next week that I'm paying more attention to. And maybe this will turn out to be a dud the way things are going. That's the February 12th system. I was telling Ryan Vaughn about that. So you always got that in the back of your mind. But I'm going to show you three computer models here, okay? The European, again, that's what I do here on the Arkansas Weather Blog, is I'd like to show you all the data that I analyze and all the challenges to forecasting and all the possibilities out there, because this is, there's some agreement between the European and the Canadian. I'm going to show you the Canadian model. And I've always kind of regarded the Canadian model as some crazy model, because sometimes it goes berserk with cold air a lot of times, and it's Canada. But I'm going to show you three: the Euro, the Canadian, and the GFS. I've talked long enough, haven't I? All right, starting this, and I'm going to try to start each one of these out at midnight on Sunday. Well-defined cold front. And this is the European. And this is what's showing you 2 meter temperatures in degrees Fahrenheit, so just off the surface. So it's in the 60s across much of central Arkansas, across almost all of Arkansas, except for north central, northwest Arkansas. There's the frontal boundary. Obvious, isn't it? 30s up there. And then you go to, this is what I'm talking about for the Little Rock Marathon. Again, these models are not going to verify exactly, but it will show you my concern. This is at 6 a.m. It's in the lower 60s at 6 a.m. here in central Arkansas. And it's in the 20s here. It's 40 degrees in Clinton, 62 degrees in Little Rock. Again, this is at 6 o'clock in the morning. Marathoners are getting ready, all right? But then look what happens at noon, 40 to 41. I'm not going to pretend to tell you I know how marathoners think and the things that you guys, if you're a marathoner, what you want. But I can't imagine, getting ready in warm weather and then having cold weather hit you during the race. I don't know. Maybe you like that type of thing. But it's in the 20s northwest Arkansas, 60s, and there's the strong front. And there is precipitation with this, which I'm going to show you on the European in just a little bit. And this is at 6 o'clock on Sunday. It's in the mid-30s, 20s north. And then by midnight on Monday, it's in the mid and upper 20s in central Arkansas. What about precip? I know this kind of looks like a bunch of squiggly lines everywhere. Again, we're starting this out at midnight on Sunday. The black lines are isobars. Just ignore those for right now. The lighter blue line here, that's the 35-degree line. The darker blue line, that's the 32-degree line. And the shades of colors, and there's a legend just off the screen here that you can't see, is the amount of precipitation over the previous 6 hours. And where you see the grays, that's less than 0.15 of an inch over the previous 6 hours. Where you see the greens, you start to get into 0.2 of an inch over the previous 6 hours. So I just want to show you, of course, it's just like radar, where you see the higher, the brighter colors, the more precip that you're going to have is basically a way to look at that. Here's at 6 o'clock on Sunday morning. Again, what it's showing you is the amount of precipitation over the previous 6 hours. Here's the freezing line, and you can see all this precipitation in the cold air. And remember, that front's right through here. So a lot of this is occurring behind the frontal boundary in the cold air. Okay? Just wanted to get that out there. And this is at noon, and that freezing line is still towards the north, but, we got precip coming in during the marathon. All right? And you got cold air building in northern Arkansas. Again, northern Arkansas is going to be the favorite area for frozen precipitation here, if this model were to verify. And then there's another wave of moisture. It looks like it's trying to come on top, another wave. And the temperature, the 32-degree line, is just north of the metro. This is at midnight. I'm sorry, 6 p.m. on Sunday. And then at midnight, that freezing line settles towards the south with a wave of significant moisture going on top. So there you go. Now the Canadian. And the reason why I want to show you the Canadian, let me get this to midnight on Monday. There's some agreement here with the Canadian. It's got the front further south, a little faster. You see this? There's the front. This is at midnight on Sunday, where the European had it up here. And the reason why there's not a dramatic drop-off is because this is very shallow cold air, and the Ozarks tend to hold that up. And so I think the Canadian is kind of seeing that. But it's got some of the cold air bleeding towards the south. It's in the 60s here, the 30s north. This is at midnight on Sunday. Let me speed this up here. Okay, so this is at 6 a.m. on Sunday. We're talking about mid-50s here, teens and 20s north, 60s south. So marathoners, starting the morning off at 57 degrees, and then going down to 39 degrees by noon, 31 degrees by 6 o'clock. So you're below freezing by 6 o'clock. Falling temperatures all day long. What about precipitation? Just like the European, this is at 6. I'll just back this up. Remember, it's quantitative precipitation. It's the amount of precipitation over the previous 6 hours. So this is between 6 a.m. Sunday and noon Sunday, and that's showing more than an inch of precipitation. So just pouring rain. And there's a wave of moisture that comes through right there with below freezing temperatures late Sunday. Now to the GFS. This is the warmer of the two models. This is why we have such hesitation about a forecast on this. Why there's so much disagreement. Mid-50s to upper 50s. This is at midnight. There's the frontal boundary up towards the north. All right. This is at 6 a.m. It's in the 60s. Frontal boundary to the north. At noon, it's pushing 70 degrees in central and southern Arkansas at noon, where all the other models are in the 30s. All right, so huge difference. By 6 p.m. on Sunday, the front still hung up towards the north. It's still in the 60s. And then it starts to get colder. The front, but it's still above freezing by midnight on Monday. And do I have it? Yeah, here's the precipitation. It's a flatter look than what it looked like before. It wasn't as well. It's not as well defined as a surface wave. But this is at 6 p.m. on Monday, and that's rain. And there's some freezing precipitation across far northwest Arkansas by Monday afternoon, and by midnight, all that frozen precipitation stays across northern Arkansas. You see right there. So still huge forecasting challenges. And the bottom line is the GFS here may be trying to trend colder and trying to get towards the European and the Canadian here. And maybe the European and the Canadian may start to trend a little bit warmer. They meet somewhere in the middle. How about that? Compromise. Don't you wish people compromise more these days? You know, there's a city out on the eastern seaboard. Starts with a W, ends in a DC, and it's always my way or the highway. But I'm not going to get into politics because I'm a weatherman. I don't want to get into politics anyway. I'll just stick to weather. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and I'll keep you updated with all this. It looks like it's going to be a mess on Sunday, but like I said, you know, these models, they may just start doing what they did before and start flip-flopping, and it trends towards nothing. See y'all later. Have a great day.